Today I'm going to respond to some of your comments and answer some of your questions. Now, very first of all, I want to say a happy Easter to you all, and more importantly, it's a long weekend, 4 days for an awful lot of us without any work, and most critically, certainly for millions of us, it's also going to be payday. Now, I bleat on about this all the time, but if you give me 30 seconds, let me please just say this. If you are getting paid today and you've got this 4-day weekend stretched out in front of you, and like myself, what you normally do on payday is go through the cycle of being paid, and by the Saturday, maybe the Sunday if we're lucky, we've done all our money gambling, and we look back at another paycheck and another weekend wasted which we could have spent with friends or family, or just sitting down on the sofa with a 4-pack of lager watching the football or the darts or whatever you want to watch, alright? If that is you, and if like me you are stuck in that cycle, then please I urge you to do something different this payday. Okay, get some blocks in place and enjoy the long weekend for what it is, you know, in whichever way you choose to spend that. So please just think about it now before that money hits your account or before you get the opportunity to go out and place that first bet. So let's just jump into your comments. Myself as a gambling addict have finally got out of an IVA agreement. I was in debt due to gambling online slots. 20 grand later and I'm now on Gamban and debt free. I can honestly say I don't play the slots, I don't have the urge, I don't watch people on YouTube like Chipmunks or The Bandit. Okay, firstly I just want to say obviously a massive congratulations. You know, 20 grand debt paid off, debt free, and most critically I think from this message, still on Gamban. So you've still got those blocks in place should those urges arise, because complacency, certainly in the medium to long term of recovery, complacency can be incredibly dangerous because we think we're safe and we often think, well, I'll just have a little bet because it can't hurt. And maybe it won't hurt, but is it worth the risk? Now, with regards to watching online creators like Chipmunks or The Bandit or whatever it is, whoever it is you watch, all right, my approach to this is quite simple. It's a controversial one, but it's quite simple. If you are in recovery and you're doing well and you still watch this type of content as part of your recovery, then I would suggest don't change a thing. All right. If you don't watch these videos as part of your recovery and you're in an active recovery, then don't start, because it could potentially act as a trigger. All right. Stick to what works, and if you find these act as a trigger, then step away altogether. Now, obviously, I am very, very guilty of not extracting gambling fully from my life, hence these videos, all right? But general consensus is that if you decide you want to abstain, you want to get into recovery, then take it out of your life completely. And in many respects, I assume that includes watching other content. But if you are watching it and you're happy and you're in recovery and it's working, then good luck to you. It's not hard at all. Just stop doing it. How hard is it for an adult not to do something? Well, I question why you're watching my videos in the first place, because if you are, the chances are maybe you have an issue with gambling. So either you're being sarcastic, facetious, or you are thankfully, one of the many millions of people who can do something recreationally and it not cause an addiction, not cause any problems in your life. And if that's you, then good luck to you and well done for being one of those people. But for many of us, it isn't that easy. It's certainly simple, but it's not easy. I'm 40 this year and stopped problem gambling some 12 years ago. That's not to say temptation doesn't still wash strongly over on occasions. Hence the reason I said before about keeping the blocks in place even if you think you're a long way into recovery, because like I say, complacency and temptation can be a big negative factor. But thankfully my 2 children have not had to grow up as I did, watching their father lose his business, houses, relationships as a result of this horrible addiction. Well, firstly, sorry to hear that. But yeah, it can cost you everything. I recently subscribed and somewhat binged videos on this channel, thank you very much, and I can relate to every single story and emotion almost without failure. Okay, and I will say that's kind of why I do this. So if you do experience something negative, you're experiencing bad emotions or you're experiencing bad behaviours and you think you might be alone, you're not. The job you're doing here is incredibly important. I'm grateful there are people still looking out for their fellow man. Well, thank you very much. I read the first bit of that comment before I put it in this video, and I didn't realise you went on to say such nice things, so I really appreciate that. I haven't just put it in there to inflate my own ego, but no, really appreciated, and congratulations on 12 years. That's really good to hear. You sound like the guy from Top Gear. I don't know which guy that is. Can't be a bad thing. Gotta love Top Gear. Well, the old Top Gear, or the old new Top Gear. You know the one I mean. I used to enjoy going out for the evening, playing slots at a few arcades, socialising, etc. I'd win, lose, break even, never bother me, it was enjoyable. Not anymore, I feel I have no chance. I think part of that is possibly due to a growing addiction. That would be the official only feel party line. The unofficial line is that I believe the nature of gambling and the gambling landscape has changed massively, particularly in terms of going out and playing fruit machines or slots or whatever you want to call them. The stakes used to be lower, jackpots used to be lower. You used to be able to play for longer with a smaller budget, with a smaller pot, and not only that did that not feed into the addiction so much as the high stakes, quick play, high returns thing, it did allow you that little bit of entertainment. It's certainly what started for me. Obviously, my history, as a lot of people with the channel will know, is I started recreationally, became what we would call a professional gambler. Okay, I used to play fruit machines for a living. That was what I did, and then that, further down the line, led to ultimately addiction and lack of profitability, and the situation that I've bleated on about so long on this channel. Sleep is not good. Stress. I don't want to play anymore. If you don't want to play, you want to get into recovery, then thank you. Thank you for coming to see me. But obviously there will be significant links to significantly more intelligent, better placed people in the description below. So check all those out. Like I always say, if you're looking to get into recovery, if you want, as it looks like you want to get into recovery, you want to stop, then do everything in your power to do that. Blocks, counselling, GA meetings, everything. Try everything, because some things will work better than others, but you don't know until you try. And certainly sleep. When you get into recovery, sleep is the one thing that you will notice you get back. Not lying awake thinking about your losses, not lying awake thinking about your next, your next gamble, and also not lying awake thinking about how you're going to fix the damage you've done. Shame on you for advertising this. Now, this was in response to that video I made about No Limit City, that snake game with the big double or nothing, whatever, gamble thing. Advertising, well, I did say in that video that even if you were to play it, the odds are worse than they are on other games. I said it was a cynical attempt to rip off gambling addicts. It was predatory, and shame on the game supplier. So if that's advertising, I'm pretty sure I can expect a call from their marketing department any day soon. Coming up 6 months free now, brilliant. I feel bloody amazing. So many wasted years feeding fob teas. Yes, sometimes it's pretty terrible looking back, isn't it, at the amount of time, money, effort, relationships, opportunities we've squandered. However, embrace that feeling you're experiencing at the moment, that amazing feeling, that positive feeling, because ultimately that is what you want to have for the rest of your life. We have, in many respects, wasted so much time, money, like I say, opportunities, but concentrate on the here and now. Hindsight can be a great lesson, but in terms of recovery, it's not something to dwell on. Only loser quit gambling. To others, it's fun. What a terribly great game. Obviously, another one in response to this No Limit. There's a number of these. I won't bother giving them mostly at the time of day. But needless to say, I shall not be visiting your roulette YouTube channel where you try and sell some sort of roulette calculator system. Yes, no wonder you don't want people to quit gambling, because you want to capitalise off their losses, like No Limit City. Not casino. Bloody hell, there's loads of these. Not casino fault if you have no stealth control. Yeah, I've got a bit of a swollen tongue at the moment. My self-control is, look, joking aside, it's quite an important thing. I do believe in personal responsibility alongside all the other things we need to do when it comes to forming and maintaining a recovery. But I don't think that eliminates the people who promote gambling. I don't think that eliminates casinos and whatever from their responsibility to this problem. All right, so yes, the onus is on you, joking aside, but also I think that maybe legislation should be tightened, should we say. Gambling is a way to make us feel better. We know deep down we won't hit the jackpot, we're unhappy in life, and we have to work out the real reason for this. In the past year I've gambled 20k, and now I know why. I'm unhappy in life. It isn't what it used to be. I don't get that much out of work like I used to. I don't work out like I once did. My life is boring, repetition week in week. Yeah, I can relate to this so much. Gambling is inherently a symptom of some other issues, okay, and that could, to be honest, it's the same for any addiction. You could quite easily change gambling for alcohol or for drugs or whatever, or pornography or whatever it is you can get addicted to. Quite often we fall into addiction because of something else. Now, I'm not a counsellor, but if you do feel this is the case, and I think, like I say, it's underlying, I reckon, for a lot of people, then go and see a counsellor. Right, again, links to counselling services in the description below, or they might be able to, just Google them, look them up. There'll be one in your local area. And once you get to the bottom of maybe what it is that you're missing, or what you're trying to get out of life, then that can help, not fix, but it can help get you onto the right path for recovery. It can put you in the mindset to do something more positive. And like this guy says, You know, if you can get into more positive routines, working out, or you can go out, you can socialise more, you can do all these positive things, then it actually makes extracting that escapism or that short-term pleasure from your life that bit easier. So wishing you all the best, mate. It's good that you've identified what you think the problem is. Now go and do it, go and get it, and good luck. I look forward to hearing from you in sort of another 6 months' time, where you can tell me how well your recovery is going. It's not hard. People just quit in the heat of the moment and get hyped about the prospect and idea of not gambling. As time fades, hype fades, and their emotional state changes. It's like getting hyped about the gym, killing yourself in the first week, a second you're in pain, the third you start skipping. But in reality, stopping should be life change and life-altering moment, and much like eating healthy and working out or any other commitment, it should become part of something you are and what you do on a daily basis. You need to make right decisions. Yes, I absolutely agree with this. I think that and I've seen it in so many instances, not just with gambling, but with people who make these massive pledges to change their lives, to go to the gym every day, to exercise, to work out, to go on a diet, to eat healthy, to give up smoking, blah, 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 right? And I think there's a lot of this on YouTube as well, motivational self-help content. I think people watch this stuff, and maybe I can put myself in this bracket, I don't know, maybe I'm guilty of this, right? But you watch this stuff, you get all hyped about the idea of being gamble-free, of being, healthy, of going to the gym, of being fit, of, not drinking, all this stuff, right? You get really excited about the idea of it, so you hit it, and you go really hard, and then you'll monitor it, you track it, you count the days and all the rest of it, and then you get bored and you fall off and you end up back where you started from. All right? It's not a big thing. It's not a massive change. It's not a massive, one-off eureka moment. It is literally just a small change day after day after day after day after day, which will yield the improvements. All right? It is the best thing you can do, and it's a massive decision to make. All right? But quitting gambling isn't in and of itself a big thing. It's just a repetition of a very small change in your life. Okay, so if you want to make improvements in your life, just regular, repeat. You can't fix historic damage overnight. All right? If you've had a terrible diet for years and years and years, and you've done no exercise, and you're massively overweight, going to the gym and destroying yourself for 4 hours a day and eating nothing but lettuce is not going to make you wake up tomorrow thin and healthy. Okay? So going to the gym for a little bit, eating a bit healthier, doing that day after day after day will improve your health, it will improve your physique, and you will feel better, you will look better, and you will be healthier. In the same way that quitting gambling isn't going, right, I'm never quitting gambling again, and thinking about it non-stop, constantly, binge watching my videos, please do, it's great for the algorithm. That won't fix your gambling problem overnight. All it will do, or the only thing that will fix it, is getting up in the morning, saying, I'm not going to gamble today, and then going to bed and saying, I didn't gamble today. Okay, now you don't actually have to do that, you don't have to look in the mirror and tell yourself, but if that helps, then good luck to you. This is another response to the No Limit video. I recall you elected to say nothing about fake casino streamers a while back, so what's changed? Well, nothing's changed. I didn't mention fake casino streamers, did I? I just talked about a particular game which I thought was predatory and potentially harmful to gambling addicts. With regards to fake casino streamers, the reason I don't talk about it is because everyone wants me to talk about it, and that's not me being difficult. I just think that people have made up their own minds on those sorts of subjects, and if I gave an opinion, it would be literally that. It would be just an opinion. If I saw something which I thought was particularly bad, if I saw something that was blatantly fake, and I thought that by commenting on it, it may be of benefit to people, then I would do that. But as it stands, nothing's changed. I didn't say anything about casino streamers. I'm my own worst enemy and genuinely fear the day I get my inheritance. This is one that very, very much rang true with me. Okay, one day I will get an inheritance, although my personal opinion is I hope that my family spend it all, go on long cruises and do all that before I even get a penny. To be honest, that'd be much. Anyway, I'm going to get emotional, so let's forget that for the time being. But the fact of the matter is, at some point in my life, I am liable to come into some form of inheritance. Okay, and that, I believe, was one of the underlying driving and motivating factors for me to want to quit gambling. Because if I lose my money month after month after month, all right, if I lose everything I've got, if I squander everything I've got, if I pawn on my watches, sell my cars, send all that money in a fob tea, my fault, my stupidity, damage I've done to myself. If the money that my dad and obviously my mum as well spent their life grinding for, working for, doing jobs they hated, building up, saving for my security and my family's security in the future, if I squandered that, that would be the biggest disrespect, the biggest disservice to the people in this life that mean the most to me. So that, is a massive driving factor for me to want to, when that day arrives, be in a position where I know that I can use that money for what they intended it for, and how, how they intended it, basically, how they worked hard and put that money aside and tried to build a safety net for me and my siblings. So, yeah, I totally feel you, but maybe use that as a bit of motivation to to maintain your recovery. They deserve what they get. Oh, this is again another low limit. There's a lot of comments on the video. They deserve what they get. If they're going through the back doors to be able to access these modes, UK law does not. I'm just going to stop reading there. Apologies. Yes, I totally agree. You shouldn't be doing something that you shouldn't be doing. All right, I think that's pretty safe to say, isn't it? But I think of all the dishonest things we do as gamblers, all the lies we tell, all the manipulation, all the beg, stealing, borrowing, and all of that. I think that lying to your internet service provider about where you're currently located ranks pretty damn low on the lies told by gamblers tier list. All right, so yes, you're right. You're right. If you don't get a VPN and you don't do this, you don't do that, and you don't change your settings, you can't play these games and you can't lose your money in that capacity. But like I say, gamblers are inherently manipulative. We can be very dishonest when the urges strike, and I think as far as dishonesty goes, that ranks very low on the ones we should care about. Oh yeah, this broke my heart reading this. If I'll get cancer now, I'd thank God. I would not get treatment, I would be so happy. I don't know what to say. Go to the links in the description below. Don't watch me. I'm just a balding middle-aged man bleating on about my negative experiences, right? The only thing I will say is that I have been in parts of my life where I wasn't actively thinking about ending stuff, but I certainly didn't care if I woke up in the morning. All right, get help, and I mean that in the most compassionate way possible, because I've been there. Speak to someone, because there is a better life and you want to live. Because ultimately, right, and this is the only thing I'll say on the subject of this, the ending stuff is always an option. All right, now I'm not saying that it's an option you should ever take. Okay, but seeing as it is always there, it's always the option, then why not live today? Why not make a change today and see how it goes? And then tomorrow, and then the next day, and actually see what's worth living for. All right? Or wishing you all the best, but please, 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 don't waste your time with people like me. Talk to a professional, get some real help, because there is a better life for you, and I really look forward to hearing from you in the future when things are on a better path. Sending you all my, I will say sending you all my strength. I'm not religious, just from me. Okay, Phil, I do find things so hard myself, buddy. Is there any chance I can speak to you about all this, mate? And I find it very hard. Firstly, I'm really sorry that you're struggling. I think everyone pretty much watching this video can probably relate in some respect to that comment. I do hope hope these videos help, and I do hope you can find some form of recovery that works for you. Like I say, if you haven't been successful to date, that's fine. Just keep trying different things. Go to a Gamblers Anonymous meeting, even if you don't think it'll be for you. Go to counselling, even if you don't think it's necessarily going to work. Try and have an open mind about all these things, but do them all. There's a lot of help out there. Approach it all. Try it all and see what works for you, and then just go for it. Okay. With regards to speaking to me, I do get quite a few comments like this. In a respect, I'd love to. The problem is that I do get quite a few comments asking to talk to me, ask for my phone number, whatever. And I really appreciate the fact that people seem to think that I am of help, and that's great. And that's why I do this. But I cannot be that person. All right. I firstly, totally logistically, I don't have the time. But also, I have a family. I have a lot of other things going on. I can't be honest, right? And that might come across negatively, but I can't be a support for that many people, and I wouldn't want to be, because I don't want to be that person who's not there when you need me the most. All right, I say this. I say if you want to message me through Patreon or whatever, you can do that, and I will always endeavour to reply. All right, but if your world is on fire, if you're at a particularly low point, if you are really, really struggling, then please don't reach out to me directly, because I can't guarantee when I'll respond. Okay, and I personally, in all honesty, I don't want to be that responsible for everyone who watches this channel. I appreciate everyone who watches this channel. I appreciate everyone who supports me and sends me lovely comments, but I cannot be responsible for you. So thank you. I appreciate your comment. I wish you all the best, and I look forward to hearing from you in the future when things are better. But I can't be a support. I can't be a sponsor, as I'd probably say at GA. You don't lose if you quit. Keep going till you start winning again. When the fun stops, keep going. I don't know what it was about that one of those recent videos that seems to have brought all these people out the woodwork who either want to make, they might be sarcastic, I don't know, they might be just trying to harm people who are getting into recovery, they might think they're funny, I don't know why all these comments have come out of the woodwork. All I'd say is that I think if we know what we're talking about, if we have an ounce of brain cell, we know just to ignore these idiots. I play when I really, really don't want to play because I have a book called Tarot Made Easy by... you know what? I'm not going to read on there. If Nancy is... Hi, Nancy, by the way. I presume that's probably you leaving a comment. If you are taking your gambling tips from tarot cards, then yes, maybe this channel's not for you. Maybe this mortal plane is not for you. I don't know. And I'm not belittling people who are superstitious. In fact, I know quite well a guy who's a medium, and he doesn't really seem to know what he's talking about. But, you know, please leave that out of gambling. Gambling is a very, very straightforward thing, a very straightforward addiction. And please do not rely on anything what we would deem supernatural to get your gambling hints from, because that's disaster waiting to happen. GamStop, that's the way forward. Yes, short, sweet, and very positive. Absolutely. GamStop, if you haven't tried it, try everything. Link in the description below. Blocks your online access to all sorts of gambling. Betting, casinos, the lottery, anything. Basically, if it involves betting something to try and get something back, GamStop will stop it, all right? Only thing I'd say, exercise caution. If you do want to get GamStop, I highly recommend it, but make sure it is what you want to do, because it will block everything, all right? If you have an issue with the online casinos, but you still like a sports bet and you think you've got that under control, that was me. I've now stopped everything, by the way, all right? Then, yeah, GamStop is brilliant, but it will block everything. And finally, not finally, second to last, take a and at least you get the buzz from your money. I think in the list of bad advice, we've seen some in this video, but that probably actually ranks down there with the worst. And finally, Bros Defro Quadruple Vaxxed. Oh yes, again, this is a response to the No Limit video where everyone seems to think that I've got it in for the world and I've got it in for gambling, and I think that, you know, we are the victims of every... Oh, it's just, honestly, I've got so many of these comments. You know, and also Quadruple Vax, blimey, what a 2021 reference that is. Maybe you need to get with the times, mate. For what it's worth, I'm not quadruple vexed. I had two. You know, but on a serious note, I think if you were one of those people who knew you were at threat from that particular virus, and you knew, and I'm not getting involved in whether it was effective, whether it's not, whatever, right? If you knew that that would help prevent you from getting that virus and getting very sick, I think you'd take it, wouldn't you? Gambling, the methods to stop gambling have been proven. So yeah, if you want to quadruple protect yourself from developing a gambling addiction, then why would there be any harm in that? But anyway, to keep it short and sweet, shut up. Stay safe, stay sane, everyone. If you want to support me, there'll be a link to my Patreon in the description below. I'll keep trying to make these videos regularly, responding to your comments. If I didn't respond to yours, my apologies. Just rest assured that I read it. I do get lots and lots of positive comments, as well as some of these silly negative ones I highlighted today. So if you sent me a message or left a comment saying that you appreciate the help, you like the videos, of helping support you, then thank you. Just know that I've read it and I appreciate it, and it means a lot to me, and it's why I keep doing this. But obviously I don't want to fill a video full of just comments bigging me up, because, well, you know, whilst that might be quite nice for me, probably pretty tedious for yourselves. Enjoy your long bank holiday weekend. Stay safe, stay sane. Like I say, if you get paid today, make sure you do something different and keep yourself safe. All the best, guys. Happy Easter.